At home plate now, Bill Verdon has the Yankee lineup, and Earl Weaver has the Oriole lineup. They're going over the ground rules now with the home plate umpire, Jim Odom. In fact, Bill Deegan will be at first base, Dave Phillips down at second, and Lou DeMuro at third base. Of course, Weaver wants to get all of these ground rules, any new ones since they've been here last. This is a big series for Baltimore and a big series for the Yankees. Yankees, as of now, 2.5 games up over the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees have 15 games left to play, Baltimore 14. Also in the race, the Boston Red Sox. They're 3.5 games out, and they have 16 games left to play. The Tigers tied that ball game up in Boston. Tigers 2, Boston 2, Boston batting in the bottom half of the second inning. Over the National League, the Cubs lead the Phillies 1-0 after one. But the big score, Detroit 2, Boston 2 after 1.5. Looking at the American League West, the Oakland A's have a 5-game lead over Texas, 8.5 over Minnesota. And Frank Willisey has been given a new contract by the Minnesota Twins. The Cardinals a 1.5 lead over Pittsburgh, 6 over Philadelphia in the National League East. In the National League West, the Dodgers a 2.5 game lead over Cincinnati. Listen to these fans. Here's Shea. The Yankees haven't even taken the field yet, and these fans have started to applaud. Don't forget, tomorrow it'll be a night game instead of a 2 o'clock game. It's listed on your schedule to start at 2, but it'll start at 8. And Pat Dobson will go against Mike Cuellar. Then on Thursday night, it'll be Rudy May against Dave McNally. So, the change tomorrow, pretty important. Don't come out here at 2 o'clock. You'll be here by yourself. The game will start at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And it'll be Dobson against Mike Cuellar. The Pirates lead the Cardinals 1-0 after 1.5. Pirates batting bottom of the second. Pirates 1, Cardinals 0. Medich on the year has won 18, lost 13. He has no record against the Baltimore Orioles this year. Lifetime, Medich has won 32 and lost 22. A lifetime against the Orioles. Last year he was 1-0. The first time he's faced Baltimore this season. Medich pitched last in Detroit Friday night. He lost 6-3. Went 5 innings, allowed 6 runs. Only 3 of those earned on 9 hits. In that ball game Friday, Medich walked none. He struck out 3. And we're waiting for the Yankees to take the field here. The game's on television, and they're probably wait another couple of minutes. Looking at Palmer's record, he lost 3-0 to Mike Wallace. And Pedro on September 12th in Baltimore. The Yankees take the field. The national anthem.
Here's Robert Mello as he sings our national anthem.
What so proudly be
but the Montreal Expos has been postponed because of rain in Montreal. Of course, up there it might be snow. Anyway, the Met-Montreal ball game postponed. Inclement weather. Baltimore has picked up a couple of people. One, of course, very familiar to the Yankees. They've added Jim Northrup, who played with the Tigers up until a few weeks back. Then he went over to the Montreal Expos. Northrup was obtained on waivers from Montreal. They've also picked up a rookie, Doug DeCinces. He was recalled from Rochester in the National League. Both are in uniform tonight. Oh, the Orioles have added a couple of people. Jim Northrup, who certainly is no stranger to Yankee fans, and also Doug DeCinces, who's been up and down in the Baltimore organization. Well, Doc Medich out taking his warm-up throws into Thurman Munson. Let's go across the stats for Medich. He's making his 35th start. He has 15 complete ball games, 3 shutouts. He's pitched 251 innings, given up 248 hits, 101 earned runs. His ERA 3.62. He's given up 23 home runs in those 251 innings. Given up 77 walks, 141 strikeouts. He's hit 6 batters, and he's thrown 4 wild pitches. So Medich, with a record of 18-13, has just finished his warm-up throws into Munson, and this ball game is about ready to get underway. Big ball game for the Yankees. Might be their biggest ball game over the last 10 years. Yankees last won 1964, when they won the American League pennant. And here's Al Bumbry, the left fielder, leading off against Doc Medich. Bumbry batting at .221, a home run, 16 runs batted in. Good speed, and the Yankee infield shortens up for him. Nettles in on the grass and wide at third. Chambliss a step or 2 behind the grass at first base. And the ball game is underway. Line base hit left field for Bumbry. He'll hold at first base as Pinella gets the ball back into Alomar's second. Well, Bumbry getting a fastball and drilling it in the hole between the third baseman Nettles and the shortstop Mason. He's on at first base, nobody out. Here's Rich Coggins, the right fielder. Good speed at first base, Bumbry. Good speed at the bat, Coggins. Bumbry, 11 stolen bases. He's been caught 3 times. Medich will have to watch him. The set. And the pitch. Called strike, a fastball right in there. Nettles still in close at third. Chambliss holding on a runner at first base. And the next pitch. High, 1-1. Just underway at Shea. Al Bumbry ripped the first ball into left field for base hit. He's at first base. They count 1 ball, 1 strike on Rich Coggins. And on deck is Bobby Grich. Here's a set by Medich. Throw the first base. Going back in safely is Bumbry. Nettles at third, Mason the shortstop, Alomar the second baseman, Chambliss at first. Here's the set, and the 1-1 pitch. Pitch out. It's 2 balls and a strike. Lou Pinella in left field. He's straight away, not too deep. Elliott Maddox just a shade toward right center. And Bobby Mercer out in right field. Medich reading Munson for sign. Still looking. Now the right-hander steps. Stops at the belt. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed it. 2-2. Coggins went after a high fastball. Now Nettles backs up at third. Coggins stands way up on the plate. Here's the set, and the 2-2 pitch. Up and in. Count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Hunter at third, flashing the signs. Bumbry watching off first. Coaching first base for Baltimore is George Stoller. Now the set. Here's a payoff pitch. The runner's going. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Maddox backing up. He's under it. And he's got it. Humphrey all the way down to second, has to go back to first base. One away as Cargan skies high to Elliott Maddox in center field. Here's Bobby Grich, the second baseman. Second base. Number 3. Grich batting at .265, 18 home runs, 74 runs batted in. Medic. Quick long-distance conference with Sandy Alomar. Sandy probably telling Doc who will cover second base just in case that ball's hit back to him. And the way they're playing Grich, it'll probably have to be Alomar. Here's the set now by Medic and the pitch to Grich. On the inside corner for strike. On deck is Tommy Davis. Here's the set. And the 0-1 pitch to Grich. Outside. He faked the bunt, took it. It's 1-1. Grich is a big fellow for an infielder. He's 6'2", goes 190. Last year he only made 4 errors. This year he's got at least 16 at second base. Has 20. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Slider misses down low at 2 balls and a strike. Grich has 20 errors this year. He's normally a better fielder than that. Will not hurt you with the bat, though. Good power for an infielder. 18 home runs, 74 runs batted in. Now the set by Medic. Runners going. The pitch is swung on a miss, so the second is safe. A one-hopper to Alomar, and Bumbry slid straight in under the tag. So he's there with a stolen base. The count on Grich, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bumbry just stole his 12th base of the year. He's down at second base with 1 out now. And the count, 2-2 on Grich. No score in the ball game. Just underway here at Shea. We're in the top of the first. Bumbry off second with 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Cold strike 3. Got him lucky. Medic got the outside corner, let her high with a good slider, and Grich was caught looking. 2 down now. Here's Tommy Davis, the designated hitter. Davis at .284, 11 home runs, 76 runs batted in. He's a tough man with runners on, especially in scoring position. A right-handed batter, 2-time National League batting champion with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here's the set and the pitch. Breaking ball's a strike. Davis leads his ball club in runs batted in with 76. Bobby Grich has 74. The next pitch, breaking ball, bounce up the middle. Mason up with it, takes his time, fires the first in time. Davis bounces out 6-3 and the inning's over. No runs, a hit, no errors by the Yankees. 1 man left on by Baltimore. At the end of the half inning, Baltimore nothing. The Yankees coming up. Well, the Yankees are now accepting mail orders for the 1974 American League Championship Series. If these playoffs are held at Shea Stadium, they will be on weekdays during the week of October 7th. Tickets are sold in sets covering all 3 games. A set of box seats is $21 for the 3 games. A set of reserve seats is $15 for the 3. There's no limit on how many tickets you can purchase, and orders are handled on a first-come, first-served basis. To order Championship Series tickets, send check or money order to the ticket director, New York Yankees, Parks Administration Building, Flushing, New York, 11368. And be sure to add $1 for postage and handling to the total order. Remember, at this time, only mail orders are being accepted. $21 for a set of box seats for 3 games. A set of reserve seats is $15 for the 3. Now looking over the National League, Pittsburgh 1, Cardinals nothing. Pirates batting in the bottom half of the third inning. They lead the Cardinals 1-0. Well, Jim Palmer has won 3 and lost 4 since coming off the disabled list on August 13th. He's making his ninth start since August 13th and has dropped his last 2 outings to Cleveland and also to the Yankees. Palmer last won on September 4th when he beat Boston 6-0. He only gave up 3 hits. Yankees beat him 3-0 his last start on Thursday night. Pitched a tough 7 innings. He held the Yankees scoreless through the first 7. But the Yankees reached him for 3 runs in the 8th. This is Palmer's 3rd start of the year against the Yankees. And this year against the Yankees, he's 0-1. Roy White leading off against Palmer. Bottom of the first, no score. And White takes outside a ball. White's batting .285, home runs, 36 runs batted in. He's got a 9-game hitting streak going. And the fastball is fouled back. It's 1-1. Boston and Detroit tied up 2-2 after 2. Coleman against Lee. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Roy White. Swung on, popped up. Third baseman Brooks Robinson calling. Backing up. He's under it. He's got it. And there's 1 down. The Orioles have Brooks Robinson at third. Mark Belanger is the shortstop. Bobby Gritz, the second baseman, and Boog Powell at first. Al Bumbry out of left field. Paul Blair in center. And Rich Toggins in right. Here's Elliot Maddox, the Yankee center fielder. He's batting .303. 3 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Takes a strike on the inside corner. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the first, no score. Yankees in Baltimore. Palmer working quickly. Big curve is inside. This time it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Maddox. Curveball fouled off. And it's 1-2. Rod Hendricks, the catcher, runs that ball down in front of the Yankee dugout. Now the home plate umpire, Jim Odom, wants to inspect it. And he gives it back to Palmer. A ball and 2 strikes on Maddox. Palmer rocks back, kicks and deals a 1-2 pitch. Just misses down low at 2-2. Lifetime against the Yankees, Palmer's won 14 of 20. And the 2-2 delivery to Maddox. Inside, count full. Outfield and infield play straight away for Elliott. Payoff pitch, swung on, foul, base hit, left field. Maddox digging the first base, he'll hold there. As Bumbry gets the ball into the shortstop, Mark Belanger. So Elliott Maddox gets a 2-2 fastball and drills it in the hole between Robinson and the shortstop, Mark Belanger. He's at first base with 1 out. Here's Bobby Mercer. Mercer batting .275, 8 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Rod Hendricks, the catcher, now out talking to his pitcher, Jim Palmer. Now Rod back behind the plate. Powell holding on Maddox at first base. 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score in the ball game. Elliott has stolen 5 bases. He's been caught 5 times. Now Palmer, one of those tall pitchers, keeps that left leg up quite a bit of time, and the pitch is high, a ball. Yankees like to steal on a pitcher like this. Mercer leading the club in runs batted in with 75. And a strike, gets the ball and a strike on Mercer. Palmer looking for a sign, doesn't like the first one. Now he sets. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. 1-2. Mercer went after a high fastball and just got a piece of it. On deck for the Yankees, Greg Nettles. No score here. Bottom half the first inning. Now the set. And the pitch. Breaking ball is fouled back. That'll be out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Bobby Mercer. Palmer sets. Checks Maddox. The pitch. Swung on the ground to second. Pitch to Belanger for 1. Back to first. Double play. A 4-6-3 double play, and the Orioles get out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and because of the double play, nobody was left on base. And at the end of 1, the Yankees nothing, Baltimore nothing.
Taking a look at what's going on in the American League right now, Detroit and Boston are tied at 2-2 after an inning and a half at Boston. Coleman against Lee. Carbo hit his 12th home run for Boston in the first, and Freehan hit his 16th for Detroit in the second. Getting underway a little bit later on, Oakland will be at Kansas City, and Jim Hunter, going for his 24th win of the season, is the scheduled pitcher for Oakland. Steve Busby, trying for his 20th victory of the season, is the scheduled pitcher for Kansas City. Later on, Cleveland is at Milwaukee. It'll be Jim Perry for Cleveland against Jim Colburn of Milwaukee. Perry is 15-11. Minnesota is at Chicago. Vic Albury taking on Stan Bonson. And California is at Texas. Andy Hassler 4-11 against Ferguson Jenkins, who's trying for his 24th victory of the season. Jenkins has been a very effective pitcher with Texas, as the Rangers are only 5 behind Oakland in the American League West.
And here's Shea. We go to the top half of the second inning. Baltimore will send in Boo Powell, Paul Blair, and Brooks Robinson against Doc Medich. The Orioles got a leadoff single from Al Bumbry in the first inning. He stole second, but he failed to score. Stockens popped up. Rich struck out, and Dave was bounced out. The Booger batting at .262, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted, and left-handed hitter. Beat the Yankees the first game in a 17-inning game down in Baltimore. First game of a doubleheader. Breaking ball, strike to foul. He backs out. Now he gets back in. They're playing him to pull. Change up is high, 1-1. Medich looking at Munson, rocks back, kicks, steals a 1-1 pitch. Change up high again, 2 balls and a strike. Now Powell backs out, cleans his spikes off. Booger's not too small, 6'5", about 250. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Powell. Fastball is outside. 3-1. Powell has been sharing first base with Enos Cabell and Earl Williams. And the 3-1 delivery to the big fella. Inside, ball 4. Medich thought it was a strike. He's got both hands on his hips, looking in at the home plate umpire. Powell walks. He's at first base, leading off here in the second. And here's Paul Blair, the center fielder. Blair batting .252, 16 home runs, 52 runs batted in. On deck, Brooks Robinson. We're in the top of the second, no score here at Shea. Yankees and Orioles. Pitch to Blair. Swung on, line center field. Maddox after, can't get to it, base hit. Powell will have to hold it second. So Baltimore, with a walk to Powell, the single by Blair, they've got runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the second. And the batter, Brooks Robinson, the third baseman. Brooks batting .299, 7 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Yankees looking for a bunt. The pitch, he's going to swing away, takes the strike. Now Chambliss moves back a step. As Medic sets, checks the runners, and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up on the right side. Alomar, the second baseman, calling. Infield fly is called. Alomar's under it. He's got it. One down. Weaver let Robinson swing away, and he pops Alomar for out number 1 here in the second. Here's Elrod Hendricks, the catcher. Runners at first and second, one down here in the top of the second. No score in the ball game. Elrod batting .205, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. The infield really plays this guy to pull. The outfield also shades him around toward the right side. Here's the pitch to Hendricks. Curveball is inside. That sets again. Checks the runners. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. 1-1. Well, the Pirates didn't score in the bottom of the third. They lead Cardinals 1-0 now after 3. Gibson pitching for the Cardinals. Powell with a short lead off second. Blair with a little bigger lead off first. The set. And the 1-1 pitch to Hendricks. Just misses outside. 2-1. On deck is Mark Belanger, the shortstop. Now Hendricks backs off. I think he wants to get that noise out of here. Airplane just going over here at Shea. Now Elrod gets back in. Medic is ready. The set. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up in foul territory on the third base side. Nettles after it, but he can't get to it. It's about 7 rows back in the seat. So the count on Hendricks all even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boog Powell standing on second base. Paul Blair standing on first. There's 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. No score in the ball game. Baltimore just 2.5 games behind the Yankees. Now we're ready. The 2-2 pitch. Just missed inside. Count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Ellie Hendricks. Boog Powell at second base looking at Billy Hunter for a sign. So is Paul Blair at first. They'll gamble and move the runners, or will they play it safe and keep them there? As Medic sets. Here's the payoff pitch. They're not moving. Ball 4 outside. Bases loaded. 1 out. Before we get to Belanger, this is New York Yankee baseball. Let's pause for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Down at third base. Paul Blair on at second. Elrod Hendricks on at first. 1 out as Mark Belanger, the shortstop, steps in. He's a pretty good bunter. He's batting .225, 5 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Yankee infield back looking for 2. Pitch is fouled back by Belanger. One strike to count. Medic looking in. Still looking. Now he rocks back, kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch. Just misses high. It's 1-1. Bases loaded with the Orioles with one out here in the top half of the second inning. No score in the ball game yet. Medic working on Mark Belanger. He needs a strikeout or a pop-up. For a nice double play bouncer. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back over our heads. The ball and 2 strikes. Well, the squeeze goes by the board with 2 strikes on Belanger. Orioles have Boog Powell at third base. Paul Blair at second. L. Rod Hendricks at first. Only 1 out. Medic's taking a lot of time. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Belanger. Swung on and fouled off. Belanger just got a piece of a sidearm fastball inside. Still 1-2. On deck is Al Bumbry, the little left fielder. Don't forget tomorrow's ball game will not be at 2. It will start at 8 here at Shea. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Belanger. Sidearm curveball is just high. 2-2. Belanger bats right in and chokes up on the bat just a bit. Not too easy to strike out. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him. Threw a fastball by. We just finished saying Belanger was choking up on that bat. He wanted to get a piece of the ball. Tough man to strike out, but Medic got him with a fastball. So there's 2 down now. Bases still loaded. Here's Al Bumbry, the left fielder. He hit the first pitch. Medic threw him in the top of the first for a base hit. A ground ball. The left field between Nettles and Mason. 2 down now, bases still loaded. And the pitch to Bumbry. Misses inside a ball. No score here in the top half of the second inning. Medic rocks back, kicks and deals the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, loop to left. That's going to be a foul ball. Nettles is after it. He can't get it. Nettles running hard down the left field line in foul territory. Ran into the tarpaulin out there. And it's 1-1. And we'd like to wish a happy birthday to the Yankee team doctor, Sidney Gator. Done an excellent job for these players this year. Kept them in pretty good health. Well, happy birthday, Dr. Gator. Yankee team doctor. 1-1 pitch now to Bumbry. Swung on, fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Bumbry batting .223 with a home run, 16 runs batted in. They're playing Bumbry straight away, both in the infield and the outfield. Time's called now as Bumbry backs out. Now he gets back in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on it to left center field. Pinella's going back, still going. He's got it on the run. Luke Pinella ran that ball down in deep left center field for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit. 3 men left on base. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Yankees nothing, Baltimore nothing.
Taking a look now at what's going on in the National League. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis 1-0 after 1 at Pittsburgh. Gibson against Royce. Oliver hit his 9th home run for Pittsburgh to account for the only run of the game thus far. Chicago leads Philadelphia 1-0 after an inning at Philadelphia. Twitchell against the Torre. Just underway, the New York Mets at Montreal, scheduled to be getting underway, but that game has been postponed because of wet grounds and bad weather at Montreal, so they'll have to make that game up. And I'll check on that. I think they'll probably just go ahead and schedule that as a doubleheader on Wednesday. Atlanta is at San Francisco in the National League action. Buzz Capra taking on Ron Bryant. Capra at 14-8. Bryant at 3-15. Cincinnati is at San Diego. Jack Billingham trying for his 20th win of the season. Takes on Bill Griff of San Diego. His record 8-17. Houston is at Los Angeles. Tom Griffin against either Doug Rau or Al Downing.
Greenwich had to reach back and get a little extra that inning. With the bases loaded, only went out. He reached back and got a little bit more and struck out Belanger. Then Lou Piniella bailed him out of trouble by making a running catch in left center field on a long line drive out that way by Al Bumbry. So the Yankees out of trouble. We go now into the bottom half of the second inning, and Greg Nettles will lead off against Jim Palmer. Nettles, the left-handed hitter, is batting .250. He leads the Yankees with 18 home runs. And he's second to Bobby Mercer. He's got 69 runs batted in. And the first pitch to him is high and away, a ball. Big gap for Nettles out in left center field. The left fielder Bumbry is playing straight away. The center fielder Blair is playing over in right center. The next pitch is on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Now Nettles backs out. I don't think he liked that call. The Cubs won, the Phillies won after 3. 1-1 delivery to Nettles. Slow curves high. 2 balls and a strike. Boston batting bottom of the 4th. Detroit 2, Red Sox 2. 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed by Nettles. It's 2-2. Now Nettles backs out. It'll be Nettles, Lou Piniella, and Chris Chambliss for the Yankees here in the second inning. Palmer's 2-2 pitch. Slow curve is fouled off. Really had Nettles fooled on that pitch at the last moment. Greg took a half swing at it, just got a piece of it and fouled it off. Well, he's got life. If he'd taken it, he'd have been out of there. Struck him out. Palmer getting Nettles on a fastball, and there's one away. That'll bring in Lou Piniella, the Yankee left fielder. Lou leads the Yankee hitters at 307. He's got 8 home runs, 63 runs batted in. No score here, bottom half the second inning. Palmer's first delivery. Curveball in front of the plate, scooped up by L. Rod Hendricks. 1 ball, no strikes to count. And the 1-0 pitch. Another breaking ball, this one on the corner. It's 1-1. Palmer's 1-1 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air, shallow right. Moving back, second baseman Gritch. Coming on, right fielder Coggins. Coggins called. He's got it. 2 down. Well, the Red Sox picked up 1 run in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So it's Boston 3, Detroit 2 after 4. Here's Chris Chambliss, the Yankee first baseman. He's hit in 12 straight ball games. He's batting .255. Big curveball is in the dirt. Chris has 6 home runs. He's driven in 46 runs. Palmer's next pitch. Down low. 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. In there, call strike was taken all the way by Chambliss. It's 2-1. 2 men out, nobody on. Bottom half the second, no score in the ball game. Outside and high, 3-1. On deck is Thurman Munson. Palmer's 3-1 pitch. Swung on, ripped to first base. Struck down by Powell, goes behind him. Chambliss will have to hold at first base as Boog runs that ball down on the foul side of first base. And about 15, 20 yards behind first. Chambliss with a base hit. He has now hit in 13 straight ball games. He ripped that ball to the left of Powell. The glove side. Powell knocked it down, went behind him 10, 12 feet. Chambliss made first base easily. With Chris at first base and one out, here's Thurman Munson, the Yankee catcher. He's batting .247. Munson 13 home runs and 57 runs batted in. Here's the set by Palmer. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one to count. Set. And the next pitch. Outside a ball, it's 1-1. Jim Mason's on deck. Tomorrow night, these same two teams will meet. Second game of this three-game series. 8 o'clock game. Swing and a miss by Munson. It's 1-2. Dick Hauser coaching the third base for the Yankees. Ellie Howard coaching first. Palmer looking in at Hendricks for a sign. Still looking. Now he's set. And the 1-2 pitch to Munson. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Blair started back, now he's coming in. Still coming in. He just gets it knee high with a good running catch by Paul Blair. Blair misjudged that ball, started back, then really had to hustle in, and he got it knee high in shallow center field for out number 3. No runs, a hit, and a man left on base. After 2, the Yankees nothing, the Baltimore Orioles nothing.
The U.S. yacht Courageous has successfully defended the America's Cup in the 22nd challenge easily, defeating the Australian yacht Southern Cross for the 4th straight time in their one-sided best-of-7 series. So the Courageous doing it again. I think the winning margin was something like about somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes. So quite a victory for the Courageous, as once again America's Cup has been successfully defended off Newport, Rhode Island. Judy Heldman, who led the United States to its first victory over Australia in the Bonnie Bell Cup last weekend, was selected as the playing captain of the 1974 U.S. Whiteman Cup team. The matches against Great Britain will be played at Deeside, Wales, October 24th, 25th, and 26th. Miss Heldman, who will be representing the United States in international team play for the 12th time, was playing captain when the Americans edged Australia 5-4 in the Bonnie Bell Cup. She won 2 singles matches, including the decisive victory over Yvonne Goolagong, and then she shared in the doubles win. In tournament play this year, Miss Heldman gained the semifinals of both the Australian and U.S. Opens and won the Welsh Open for the 2nd consecutive year. Okay, let's get back to the action now at Shea Stadium, New York.
Well, Rich Carkins, the right fielder, will lead off for Baltimore as we go into the top half of the 3rd inning. No score in this ball game. Carkins has been up once. He's flied to center field. Left-handed batter. Yankees shorten up for him. The breaking ball's on the inside corner for strike. Boston leads Detroit 3-2 after 4. Ball game being played in Boston. The 0-1 pitch, changeup, is down low, 1-1. It'll be Carkins, Grich, and Davis here for Baltimore against Medich in the 3rd inning. Medich with the 1-1 delivery. Big curves outside. 2 balls and a strike. Cleveland did not score in the top of the first. Brewers batting bottom of the first. Jim Perry against Jim Colborn. 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up. Up behind in shallow right. Alomar's back there. He's under it. He's got it. And there's one away. Second baseman Bobby Grich is in. Bennett struck him out in the first inning. Doc has one strikeout. He's walked 2 Orioles. He has 2 strikeouts. He also got Belanger in the second. He walked Powell and Hendricks. Grich takes outside, low ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Bennett trying to keep the ball away from Grich. People still coming in here at Shea. The first of a 3-game series with the Baltimore Orioles. Probably the key game of the 3-game series. Chop towards short. Nice hop from Mason. Fires the first. Grich is out. 2 down. Here's the designated hitter, Tommy Davis. Davis has been up once, bounced to short. The top RBI man on this ball club was 76. Bennett rocks back, kicks and deals the first pitch, and it's a curveball that drops in for a called strike. On deck is Boo Powell. 16th meeting between these 2 clubs. Outside, 1-1. Baltimore's 1-8, Yankees are 1-7. Last time these 2 teams met, the Yankees took 2 of 3 down in Baltimore, losing a heartbreaker in the first game of a doubleheader. In 17 innings, they came back and won the nightcap 5-1. Next pitch, side-on fastball outside, 2 balls to strike on Davis. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 3rd inning. No score. Well, the Oakland A's picked up a run for Catfish Hunter in the top of the first. They lead Kansas City 1-0. Royals batting in the bottom of the first. Medich with the 2-1 pitch to Davis. Just missed outside. It's 3-1. The Met game at Montreal postponed because of rain. 3-1 pitch, swung on line right field. Mercer coming on, and he's got it. Bobby Mercer got that slicing line drive off the bat of Tommy Davis. And that's all for Baltimore. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Yankees 0, Baltimore 0.
A 1-inch cut over the right eyebrow of heavyweight champion George Foreman has brought about a postponement of at least 1 month of his title defense against Muhammad Ali. The fight will be staged either October 22nd or October 29th, according to Hank Schwartz, who's the vice president of Video Techniques Incorporated, which is handling the fight promotion in conjunction with the government of Zaire. Schwartz, in New York, said the new date will be announced within the next 48 hours by Zaire officials. Both Foreman and Ali have agreed to remain in Zaire, at least until a new date is agreed upon. Foreman previously wanted to return to the United States to have his own doctor treat the cut, but was persuaded to stay in Zaire for the time being. 3 stitches were required to close the cut caused during the final round of sparring Monday against Bill McMurray. The much ballyhooed fight, for which Foreman and Ali are guaranteed $5 million each, was scheduled for 3 o'clock in the morning on September 25th. That's 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, September 24th.
Good tomorrow night here at 8. It'll be Pat Dobson against Mike Cuellar. Then on Thursday night, Rudy May will go against Dave McNally. Jim Mason, hip going off the shoulder. Robinson lands to the shortstop, picks up, and he cannot make a play. A base Jim Mason. He jumped on the first pitch from Palmer, a fastball away from him, and a one-hopper to Brooks Robinson. The ball skipped up on Brooks. Looked like it hit him on the heel of the glove. Kicked over toward the shortstop Belanger, who couldn't make a play. So give Jim Mason an infield hit leading off here in the third. And here's Sandy Alomar, the second baseman. Now time is called. Dick Hauser wants to talk to Alomar. Alomar has finished his conference with Hauser, and Dick goes back to the third base coaching lines. Alomar back in the box. The Orioles expecting a bunt. Robinson closing in at third, and the ball is punted out in front of the mound. Palmer has it, goes to second. Went out there. He gets the force. Good play by Palmer. The punt was not a particularly good one. Right back to Palmer, and he jumped on it like a cat through the second base in time to force Mason. Well, there's one away. The put out 1-6. Palmer to the shortstop, Belanger covering. So Alomar now at first base with a fielder's choice, the batter, Roy White. White's been up once, top to the third baseman, Robinson. We're in the bottom half of the third inning, no score in the ball game. 1 out, 1 on for the Yankees. Palmer set, throws to first base, Alomar's back. Well, Boston 3, Detroit 2 after 5. Pitch, high and away to White. 1 ball, no strike to count. Cleveland and Milwaukee, no score after 1. Alomar walks off first. He's checked. Throw over there. He's back safe. Pittsburgh, Elite St. Louis, 1-0 after 4.5. Alomar's going. The pitch is swung on a miss. So the second is in time. Hendricks to Bobby Gritz, the second baseman, and Alomar's cut down trying to steal. The put out 2-4. 2 outs. Count a ball and a strike on White. Here's the wind. 1-1 pitch. Fastball is fouled back. The ball is 2 strikes. Now Palmer wants a new baseball. Big fellow looks in at Hendricks. Now he's ready, and the 1-2 pitch, and time's out. Now as somebody's throwing some orange baseballs out onto the field, Palmer started up, saw something come out of the stands, and backed off, and time is called. Now the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed, struck him out. Big overhand curveball by Palmer. That's all for White, that's all for the Yankees. No runs, a hit, nobody left. After 3, the Yankees nothing, the Orioles nothing.
Getting back to more on that fight between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, scheduled for Zaire for the 24th of September. It's been postponed at least a month. And the vice president of video techniques, Hank Schwartz, said that the closed circuit arrangements will play a part in determining the new date. Cables have been sent to all clients, and a building evaluation is currently underway. The fight definitely will go either October 22nd or 29th, and in Zaire, according to Schwartz. There had been a report earlier in the day that the fight would be rescheduled for no later than October 5th, and this caused a reshuffling of plans by American newsmen who had been quartered overnight in Germany. Most decided to continue on to Zaire in the belief that the postponement would be a relatively brief one, but they were split again when word of Schwartz's latest announcement was relayed to them. Of course, the problem, we're talking about a 1-inch cut over the right eyebrow of George Foreman, and that doesn't seem like a whole lot. But the whole point here, of course, is that that could be opened up very easily during a fight and could cause him considerable problems during that bout with Muhammad Ali. So the inch cut in itself is not serious, but the possibility of it being damaged considerably worse than that during the bout is the whole point.
Going down to the top half of the fourth inning, a scoreless ball game and a close ball game. And here's a fellow who's played in a lot of close ball games. Here's the scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
Okay, Bill White, I tell you, I love to play in them, but I think you get more nervous broadcasting games like this than you ever did playing them. By Big Boog Powell, who walked his first time up facing Doc Medich. We have no score in the top of the fourth. Doc winds, and his pitch is low and inside, ball one. The bottom of this inning will be the Daily News home run payoff inning. So you lucky fans, stay tuned. A 1-0 delivery, swing and a foul back, 1 mile. I tell you, Powell hit about 6 balls over the fence in batting practice. Of course, during the game, it's a lot different than batting practice, but he really creamed some that were just laid up there. Milwaukee leads Cleveland 1-0 at the end of 2. Pitch is high, 2 balls and a strike. Tigers batting in the top of the 6th. The Red Sox lead them 3-2 at Fenway. The 2-1 delivery. Foul off his foot. It's 2-2. The National League, Pirates are leading the Cardinals 1-0. Pirates batting in the bottom of the 6th. Cubs 1 and the Phillies 1. Phillies batting in the bottom of the 4th. A lot of important ball games. We'll send them all along as soon as we get them. Just inside, Munson thought he had nicked the corner. Full count now on Boog Powell. Boog walked his first time up. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul back. Just got a piece of it. Still a full count with nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 4th and no score in the ball game. Powell batting .262. Again, the 3-2 delivery. This one's low inside, and Powell walks for the second time. And that's the 3rd walk given up by Doc Medich in the ball game. Brings up Paul Blair, who, with Powell on, in the second inning, lined a single to left center field. Powell had to stop at second, and Medich got out of that inning after loading up the bases. Well, the Tigers came up with 2 runs in the top of the 6th and lead Boston 4-3. Red Sox batting in the bottom of the 6th. There's a pitch low. Ball 1 to Blair. In 3 of the first 4 innings, the Orioles have gotten their leadoff man on. Bumbry in the first, Boog Powell in the second, and Powell again here in the 4th. That's very important. Makes the pitcher really work out there. Powell with a very short lead at first. The pitch is lined to left field, but Pinella's going back. Stops now and makes the catch, and that ball was hit right on the nose. Pinella got back in a hurry, though, and then was able to just stay there and make the catch just by the warning track in front of the bullpen. Brings up Brooks Robinson. Brooks popped to Sandy Alomar in the second inning. In case you didn't hear, Baltimore acquired Jim Northrup, a left-hand batter, used to be with the Tigers. Pitch to Brooks Robinson. High fly, not too deep left. Pinella moving in a few steps. Is there, pounds the glove, makes the catch, and there are 2 away. The batter now, Elrod Hendricks. Ellie walked his first time up. Good live crowd here tonight at Chase Stadium. At the end of one inning, it's Oakland 1 and Kansas City nothing. California, Texas has been postponed because of rain, as has the Mets game at Montreal. 2 out. Foul at first. Chambliss not bothering to hold them on. Pitch to Hendricks. Line foul down the right field line, back into the crowd. Medic wants a different baseball than the one Jim Odom had thrown out. And the ball boy brings up a fresh supply. Same type ball game. Yankees appeared again. And they just put the score up. The Tigers 4 and the Red Sox 3. And this crowd is really on the ball. They're watching everything. The ball game, the scoreboard, celebrities. All right, Medic set. Curve is a little bit high. One ball, one strike. Two men are out here in the top of the fourth, no score. The doctor set. Delivers it inside, ball 2-1. First time Hendricks was up, Medic had been pitching him outside on a 3-1 count, or a 2-1 count. Threw one in on him, and Elrod took it. Doc thought it was a strike. A little upset by that one. So now it's 2 balls and a strike. The kick and the pitch is fouled upstairs and out of play, 2-2. And again, Medic wants a different baseball. Nope. Started to throw it in, thought better of it. Big move, foul, leads away. Stretch by Medic. And his pitch, line foul just outside of first. Boy, did he golf a low fastball. Chambliss, though, playing near the line. Had it been fair, I think he'd have been able to knock it down. Bobby Mercer flipped that foul ball into the seat. Greg Nettles did it earlier in the ball game. Well, the Yankee ball players want to acknowledge their appreciation for you fans coming out. They keep saying a big crowd makes them play harder and better. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Curve low and inside is 3-2. So Powell will be off with the pitch. On deck, Mark Belanger. All right, Medic set. There goes Powell. The curve is hit high in the air to left, but Nella's got a beat on it and pounds the glove and makes the catch. Lou Piniella made all 3 putouts that inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, a man left. And in the middle of the 4th inning, Baltimore, nothing in the Yankees, nothing.
Boston businessman Timothy Sullivan has bought a World Team Boxing franchise for Montreal. That was announced by the commissioner of the league, Jersey Joe Walcott. The champion of the light heavyweight division, Bob Foster, has retired. Foster says it was a mental struggle with the 2 World Boxing Commissions, the World Boxing Association, and the World Boxing Council, so he said, I'm going to give it up and retire. The 34-year-old Foster is the first to record an unbeaten record against light heavyweights. He captured all 48 decisions in the pro ranks, and he had 102 amateur victories. Well, you might recall, or you're hearing somewhere along the line, that Chicago White Sox announcer Harry Carey on Wednesdays broadcasts from center field at White Sox Park. He likes to get in there with the fans and do his thing there. Well, former Major League catcher Bob Uecker likes to talk, too. He does the Milwaukee Brewers games. And on Saturday, he's going to do it from a hot air balloon. He'll be hovering in the balloon over Milwaukee County Stadium during the game between the Brewers and the Tigers. He says, I hope to balloon to new heights. He says, I don't think I'll be ever be surrounded by so much hot air. I think it was Lindsey Nelson of the New York Mets broadcast a game from the Houston Astrodome sitting up on a gondola up there, and he said it was like watching ants. It was about 150 or 60 feet above the playing surface there. So I guess, this is getting late in the season. You got to do something a little bit different, especially, well, the Brewers aren't doing too bad. They're 9.5 games out, but they're in next to last place in the East.
Jim Palmer delivers, and it's high, ball one. It'll be Maddox, Mercer, and Nettles. So the fans who are in the home run inning have some power going for them here. It's a bouncer, but right to Brooks Robinson on one hop. Brooks got it, throws to first, one out. So 2 tickets will be sent to Gilbert Getz of Spring Valley, New York. And now Stanley Pakla of Belmore, New York, will have Bobby Mercer batting for him. Cardinals tied it up with a run in the 7th. Cardinals won, Pirates won at the end of 6.5. Bobby Mercer bounced into a fast double play his first time up. Palmer winds his pitch, high, ball one. Joe Durso had a piece in the New York Times. Said there must be a lot of Yankee fans saying Hail Marys for the Yankees. I'll tell you about that. There's a strike, 1-1. Mr. Eigelhart, who one of the big stockholders in the New York Yankees, has his secretary whose name is Mary, and who says a Hail Mary or 2 every day for the Yankees. So does Mary Locatelli, Mary Monticello, and Mary Mealy. So we'll see if the Hail Marys help Bobby Mercer here. 2 balls and a strike to Bobby. It's the Cubs 4 now, and the Phillies 1 at the end of 4.5. Cubs scored 3 in the top of the 5th. Palmer winds. Pitch to Bobby. Ground ball to first. Powell has it one-handed. Flips to Palmer in time, and they're a 2 away. So 2 tickets will be sent to Stanley Pakla of Belmore, New York. And Dennis Swanhall of Bridgeport, Connecticut, will have Greg Nettles batting for him. We're trying our best to give away some of the Daily News money. But Maddox and Mercer have bounced out, so all the fans get 2 tickets each. Now it's up to Greg Nettles. We have no score in this ball game in the bottom of the 4th. 2 out and nobody on. Palmer's pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Lou Piniella on deck. Low and inside, 2 balls, no strike. Palmer has allowed 3 base hits, 2 of them infield hits, has not walked anybody, and has struck out 2. The 2-0 delivery, high, ball 3, 3-0. Big gap in left center field for Nettles. Paul Blair well over in right center. And guarding the line deep in right cock is a ground ball. Just foul outside of first as Nettles got the green light on a 3-0 count. So now it's 3-1. Elrod Hendricks inspecting Nettles' bat very closely. Remember, it was Nettles who used the sawed-off bat that he got a base hit and the top part of it fell off. They found out he had put some cork in there. The 3-1 delivery. Fly ball right center field, but Blair was right there playing him perfectly and makes the catch. So 2 tickets go to Dennis Swanhall of Bridgeport. Nothing across for the Yankees as they are retired in order. And at the end of 4 full innings, it's Baltimore nothing and the Yankees nothing.
Here's what happened Monday in the American League. Just 1 game played. Minnesota beat Kansas City by the score of 7-2. So Minnesota's still hanging in there. They're not doing that bad. They're 8.5 games out, but it appears that Oakland and Texas will be battling it out for the pennant in the American League West. In the East, New York leads Baltimore by 2.5. Boston is 7.5 out, and Cleveland is 7.5 games out. In the National League East, St. Louis leading Pittsburgh by 1.5 games. Philadelphia with an outside shot trailing by 6. In the West, it's the Dodgers and the Reds with Los Angeles leading by 2.5. Monday in the National League, San Francisco beat Atlanta 4-2. Montreal over New York in the first game by the score of 3-2. New York came back to take the nightcap 3-2. Los Angeles 7, Houston 2, and Cincinnati beat San Diego by the score of 9-2. So that's what happened Monday in Major League Baseball.
All right, we've got a scoreless ball game going here into the top of the fifth inning. It'll be Belanger, Bumbry, and Coggins to face Doc Medich. Belanger struck out, and that was a big strikeout. In the second inning, the Birds had the bases loaded, only 1 out when Belanger was up there, but Medich slipped that fastball by him and then got Bumbry to line to left to get out of a big jam. Boston batting in the bottom of the seventh, and the Tigers still leading 4-3. Milwaukee leads Cleveland 1-0 at the end of 3. Oakland leading Kansas City 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Pitch to Belanger. He takes the strike. Pirates batting in the bottom of the seventh. It's Cardinals 1 and the Pirates 1, and the Cubs lead the Phillies 4-1 at the end of 4.5. Fastball, soft line it at Chambliss, right at him. Hit the ball right off the hands, and it's 1 away. That brings up Bumbry. Single to left and stole a base in the first inning and line deep to left in the second. Little left-hand hitter with a closed stance. Pitch by Medici. Started a bump, but the curve dipped down and in. Ball 1. Bill Verdon pitched 3 left-handers against Baltimore down in Baltimore. And we didn't get to see Bumbry or Coggins start. Foul down the left field line. That'll be into the seats, out of play. Nothing in the top of the fifth inning. And these same two teams meet tomorrow night and Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
We'll be here.
We'll be here. We're not going to miss any of these. He started a bunt again. It was low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. By the way, on your schedule, tomorrow's game was originally scheduled for a day game. It has been changed to a night game. The 2-1 pitch, a bouncing ball towards the middle. Alomar to his right, has it quickly, throws to first. They got him. Boy, Sandy got rid of that in a hurry. He knows how Bumbry can fly down that line. 2 men out. And now Rich Coggins, who has fly to center and popped to second. Two out, nobody on. We're in the top of the fifth here at Shea Stadium. Change-up, bounce to second base. Alomar gets a nice top, throws to first. They got him. A 1-2-3 inning for Doc Medich. And in the middle of the fifth inning, it's Baltimore nothing and the Yankees nothing.
We gave you the standings just a few moments ago. Now here's the situation as far as those pennant races are concerned. In the American League East, New York is leading Baltimore by 2.5, Boston by 3.5. New York has 16 games remaining, 10 at home and 6 away. The home games involve Baltimore for 3, Cleveland for 4, and Boston for 3. The away games, there are 6 of them. Cleveland for 3 and Milwaukee for 2 games. Make that 5 away games and a total of 16 remaining. Baltimore has 14 games remaining. 5 of them at home against Detroit for 2 and Milwaukee for 3, and 9 away. New York for 3, Boston for 3, and Detroit for 3. Boston has a total of 16 games remaining. 9 of them will be played at home. Detroit for 3, Baltimore for 3, and Cleveland for 3. 7 will be away. New York for 3, and Detroit for 4. We'll take a look at the National League remaining games for the contenders a little later.
All right, for the Yankees, it'll be Piniella, Chambliss, and Munson. Lou fly to right field his first time up. But Lou has really been swinging a hot bat. right now has had 10 base hits in his last 18 at-bats. All right, no score. In the bottom of the fifth, Jim Palmer winds. His pitch outside, ball one. Fastball line down the right field line, but it's curving foul. Oh, Piniella really put the wood to that one. That would have been a home run at old Yankee Stadium. But here it is, just a long, hard foul. The 1-1 pitch, foul at the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. They play Piniella straight away in the outfield. Palmer's 1-2 delivery, line, but right at Bobby Grich. Piniella hit a bullet, but right at Bobby Grich, and there's one away. Brings up Chris Chambliss, who singled off Boog Powell's glove in the second inning. Chris has now hit in 13 consecutive ball games. He's been a hot hitter. 21 hits in his last 53 at-bats. Takes a pitch high, ball one. No score in the bottom of the fifth. On deck, Thurman Munson. Palmer winds, kicks. The slow curve is over, 1-1. Yankees have hit some good shots at Jim Palmer, but haven't found the hole. Change up outside, 2 balls and a strike. Palmer doesn't waste much time. Slow curve is over again. It's 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Another slow curve hit high in the air to deep left center. Going back. Paul Blair way back. And makes the catch. Paul Blair, who has made some unbelievable catches against the Yankees, has just pulled another one. He took at least a triple away from Chris Chambliss. About 1 stride from the fence, caught the ball as a dead run over his shoulder with his back to the infield. I tell you, Paul Blair, he made one on Roy White that was even more fantastic, climbing the wall with his back to the infield. But he really made that look easy, and it was a very difficult play. There are not many center fielders could have come up with that one. 2 men are out, and the batter now, Thurman Munson, who lined to Paul Blair his first time up. Pitch to Thurman high and outside, ball one. I tell you, Blair is just about the most graceful center fielder, along with Elliot Maddox, we've seen in a long, long time. Change up is over, it's 1-1. Both of them play a shallow center field, and both can really go back and get them. The 1-1 pitch, slow curve is high, 2-1. Yankees are getting the wood on the ball off Palmer. As we mentioned so far, they haven't found too many holes. But they keep hitting it like this, and they're bound to fall in. No score, bottom of the fifth, 2 out, nobody on. Again, Palmer started to wind and stopped. He's ready again. Fastball outside, it's 3-1. They're in the top of the 8th. At Boston, the Tigers leading 4-3, and now they're in the bottom of the 8th with Tigers leading 4-3. The 3-1 pitch, foul, that'll be back in the crowd, out of play. Full count on Munson. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Palmer kicks, delivers it. It's a drive to right center field. Coggins over, though, and the right fielder one-hands it. So the Yankees are hitting some shots, but they're being caught 3 up and 3 down. And now at the end of 5 full innings, Baltimore nothing, and the Yankees nothing.
Okay, taking a look at what is facing the contenders in the National League. St. Louis has 15 games remaining, 6 at home, 9 on the road, 3 against Chicago at home, and 3 against Pittsburgh. 9 away games, 3 against Pittsburgh, 3 against Chicago, and 3 against Montreal. Pittsburgh, which is trailing the Cardinals by a game and a half, has 16 games remaining. 9 of them will be at home, 3 against St. Louis, 3 against New York, and 3 against Chicago. 7 away games against St. Louis, 3, 4 against New York. In the West, Los Angeles has 15 games remaining, 9 of them at home, 2 against Houston, 4 against San Diego, and 3 against Atlanta, and 6 away, San Diego for 3 and Houston for 3. Cincinnati has 14 remaining, 6 at home against Houston for 3, San Francisco for 3, 8 away, San Diego for 2, San Francisco for 4, and Atlanta for 2. So that's what happens as far as we've got coming up in Major League Baseball, at least in the National League, and the upcoming games for the contenders. And in the American League, we gave them to you about a half an inning or so ago. So that's a look at what's going on at the moment in the Major League pennant races.
All right, Bobby Grich will lead it off for Baltimore here in the top of the 6th. No score in the ball game. Grich has struck out and bounced out to short. Pitching duel between Jim Farmer and Doc Medich. First pitch by Doc is popped up, but it'll be out of play over the Yankee dugout, back into the crowd. Good pitch by Medich as he jammed Grich right near the hands. Nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 6th inning. Sidearm curve low and away, 1-1. There in the top of the 8th at Pittsburgh, Cardinals 1 and the Pirates 1. Top of the 6th at Philadelphia, the Cubs lead 4-1. Mets and Montreal postponed. Slider just outside, 2-1. Oakland leads Kansas City 1-0 into 3. Milwaukee leads Cleveland 1-0 into 3.5. Fastball hit in the air to left field. Pinella starts back, comes in, he's there, makes the catch. Lou took a step back that time as the ball was hit off the hands. Looked like it was going to go a lot deeper than it went. But then Lou came in. When you see him pound that glove, you know he's going to make the play. Now Tommy Davis, the designated hitter, is bounced to short and lined to right field. John Hiller, as we told you, has come in to relieve Joe Coleman in the bottom of the 8th up at Fenway, with the Tigers leading 4-3. Pitch to Tommy Davis, strike on the outside corner. Another sidearm, just missed, says Jim Odom. It's 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Doc winds. His slider is a swing and a miss, a ball and 2 strikes. All right, Doc ready again. Just a little bit low. It had the outside part of the plate, but dipped below the knees. It's 2-2. Medich gets the sign from Munson. Rocks back, hands over the head. 2-2 pitch, bounce to short. Mason up with a big hop. Fires to first, the mirror, 2 away. And now Boog Powell. He's been up twice and been walked both times. First 2 times he came up, he was leading off the inning and walked. Here he's up with 2 out and nobody on. That's the way you want to see him come up there with all his power. A nice letter from Sister Louise, rooting for the Yankees. Pitch to Powell, curve in the dirt, ball 1. Outfield deep on Boog, all except Elliott Maddox, that is. Maddox winds, and it's low again. Ball 2-0. It looks like Doc does not want to give in to Powell and throw him a fastball inside. Cody has walked him twice. The 2-0 pitch, curve low again. Ball 3-0. Well, that's the way Joe McCarthy managed, and he was very successful. Joe's theory was never let the big man beat you. Put him on. Let the other ball players who do not have the power or the ability. They can beat you, then you've lost the game. And another curve in the dirt on 3-0. It's ball 4, and Powell has walked for the third straight time. Another reason Powell is not a threat to steal, so you can concentrate more on the hitter. Though Paul Blair has hit the ball on the nose both times, a single to left center, and then he lined out to Lou Piniella in left field. 2 out, Powell at first. No score in the top of the 6th. And it's set, delivers, it's low, ball 1. 5 pitches below the knees that Medic is fired in there. All right, Doc sets again. Fastball swinging and miss. Blair swung so hard his hat came off, and the ball hit the umpire's chest protector, bounced back and hit Blair in the back of the neck. Ball rubbing it now. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Doc sets. His pitch is bunted. Medic off the mound. He's got to hurry. The throw. They got him. Oh, that's the best I've seen Medic bounce off the mound all year. Pretty play by the doctor. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left. And in the middle of the 6th inning is Baltimore nothing and the Yankees nothing.
U.S. defender Courageous, whose owners had second thoughts about building her, smoothly whipped Southern Cross by 7 minutes 19 seconds Tuesday for a 4th straight win and ending Australia's best financed, best organized challenge for the elusive America's Cup. It was the widest margin of victory in the 1974 series. Courageous won by 4:54 in the first race, 1:11 in the second, and 5:27 in the twice-delayed third race. The final race in the best-of-7 series was no contest after the start in winds under 10 knots. Courageous got a 20-second advantage across the line and outsailed the Cross on every leg of the 24.5-mile course. It took 8 days for Courageous to eliminate the 22nd Cup challenger in the series featuring the first aluminum-hulled boats to compete in the Cup races. Southern Cross, floated by Australian land developer Alan Bond in a $9 million effort that began 4 years ago, ironically was defeated by a boat whose backers almost scuttled plans to build her last winter. Right now, let's pause for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Who singled off Brooks Robinson's arm, leads off and bounces one slowly to first. It goes foul. Strike 1. Oscar Gamble has just hit his 19th home run of the year for the Indians in the 5th with nobody on, and Cleveland has taken a 2-1 lead over Milwaukee with Milwaukee batting in the bottom of the 5th. The Red Sox failed to score in the bottom of the 8th. Tigers batting in the top of the 9th at Fenway, leading 4-3. And John Hiller is in there in relief of Joe Coleman, the 8th relief pitcher for the Tigers. Minnesota picked up 6 runs in the top of the 1st. White Sox batting, minus Richie Allen, their superstar, who's decided to pack it in. There's a base hit to right field. Jim Mason is 2 for 2 as he stroked one between first and second. On out to right field, the Yankees' 4th base hit of the night. And now Sandy Alomar trying to sacrifice his first time up as they check Mason's bat now to see if there are nails on it, because last time that happened, Alomar takes it away from the umpire, throws it to the Yankee bat boy. Elrod Hendricks really looked that bat over carefully to see where there was any discrepancy. Nails or a little cork in it. And Hendricks is arguing with plate umpire Jim Odom. And now Earl Weaver's coming out. He's going to get into it. Weaver wants to talk with Hendricks to find out what the story is. And Weaver asked Jim Odom. And hasn't left yet, but now he's going to leave. All right, Alomar, who, as he said, in trying to sacrifice, bunted into a force play. He laid down what looked like a good bunt, except it hit off the front edge of the plate and bounced right to Palmer, who fired to Belanger. This time he bunts in the air, and Powell's got it, drops it. He's out, though. Oh, now Mason ran, and he runs on his own. He's safe. Wait a minute. You cannot drop the ball intentionally, but the runner runs at his own risk, I believe. Powell dropped the ball intentionally. Going to have to wait and see how they call that. You cannot drop a ball right in your glove intentionally to get a double play. Now, if they call it a dead ball, then Mason's safe. Mason got all excited when Powell dropped the ball and left the bag, and they threw there and tagged him, but it looks like Mason's going to be allowed to stay there. They put that rule in, and Tommy Henrich was one of the culprits that made them put that rule in. And remember, Tommy Henrich played right field, but with runners at first and second and a fly ball hit to shallow right, Tommy would come in and either drop the ball or trap it, and you would eventually wind up with a double play. And now, the first base umpire Dave Phillips and the second base umpire Bill Deegan talking it over. And we'll have to wait and see how they call it. And Deegan is telling him to go back. And they want the third base umpire Lou DeMuro. Now, as I mentioned, they could possibly call Jim Mason out for getting flustered and leaving the bag. And now they're calling Bill Burton out. And I'm afraid this is what's going to happen. It could end up as a double play. And Elston Howard now is going to come over and argue. But on that play, it's similar to an infield fly rule call, where the batter's automatically out and the runners run at their own risk, which is what I believe Jim Mason did right there. But instead of all this conjecture and trying to figure out what's going on, we'll wait and have the umpires call it. Wait a minute. Burton is walking back calmly. And let's see what they're going to do. He's out. It's a double play, just as I had suspected. Jim Mason, a little overanxious, got rattled when Powell dropped the ball intentionally. And let's see what they're going to do. He's out. It's a double play, just as I had suspected. Jim Mason, a little overanxious, got rattled when Powell dropped the ball intentionally. And you saw Bill Burton did not argue, so the runner runs at his own risk. So that's a double play. It's a good call. Even the umpires were a little confused when it first happened, and it was even more confusing when Tommy Henrich used to pull that play, because with runners at first and second, and he'd throw the ball in. First time he did it, nobody knew what to do. You tagged everybody in sight. But if you were to tag wait a minute, we'll talk about it. Roy Whiteup takes the pitch low, ball one. If he threw the ball to me at second, for instance, and I stepped on second and then tagged the runner would be safe. Would be no double play, because when you step on second, it's a force play. But if you tagged the runner first, then stepped on second, you would have a double play. As a ball popped up to Brooks Robinson in foul territory, and Brooks makes the catch, and the Yankees are out. No runs, a base hit, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 6, Baltimore nothing, and the Yankees nothing.
To clarify that play for you just a bit, there's two things involved here, two separate situations. One is the infield fly rule, when there's less than 2 out and first and second, or first, second, and third are occupied. And then the rule there is, in the judgment of the umpire, if any infielder can catch the ball with reasonable effort. Now, the infielder doesn't have to catch it. I mean, an outfielder can come in and catch the ball. But if the umpire thinks that an infielder can handle it with reasonable effort, well, then the batter is automatically out regardless of what the fielder does with the baseball, and the runners can run at their own risk. But the reason, of course, is to preclude a set-up double play. Now, the rule involved in this particular play, it's about Rule 605L, that a fielder intentionally drops a fair fly ball or a line drive with first and second, first and third, or first, second, and third occupied before two are out. And it's not the infield fly rule. The runners need not retouch and may advance at their own peril. Now, in this situation, the batter is not out if the fielder permits the ball to drop untouched to the ground, except when the infield fly rule applies. So, the smart thing for a fielder to do, like Powell, if he let that ball drop in front of his feet and then made his play, well, then that's tough luck. And the rule, and the idea behind that rule is that once in a while the fielder is going to mess himself up and get a bad bounce. But that's the only way to pull that play off and not have that runner, not have the batter automatically called out.
And coming on now and serving the Yankees in good stead for all these years, our buddy Frank Messer's going to carry along. Frank?
Okay, thank you very much, Phil Rizzuto, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you might be listening to New York Yankee baseball. Scoreless ball game goes to the seventh. Brooks Robinson leads it off. And he takes the pitch low and away. Slider, ball one. Doc Medich has the sign, swings to the windup, kicks and deals, low and away, ball two. The announcement made that the Yankees are playing the ball game under protest. Medich looks for the sign, winds and delivers fastball. His line is caught by Nettles. Diving catch to his left by Nettles. Takes the base hit away from Brooks Robinson. Hit the ball squarely on the nose. And there's one away. The batter will be Elrod Hendricks, the catcher. Hendricks has walked and lined out to Chambliss at first. The Detroit Tigers added a run in the top half of the ninth inning and now lead Boston 5-3. The Red Sox batting in the bottom half of the ninth. Elrod Hendricks, left-hand hitter. The windup by Medich fastball is over but low as Hendricks squared off to bunt, ball one. Detroit score has just been posted, eliciting the roar from the crowd. Next pitch here, cut on and missed by Elrod. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mark Belanger is on deck. Scoreless ball game. Yankees have 4 hits. The Orioles have had 2. Infield and outfield shifted well around to the right side on the pull hitting Hendricks. Although when he flied out in the fourth, he flied out to left field. He used to pull everything. Last year or so, though, he's been going some to left field. He takes this one inside, 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. There's the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit deep to right field. If it's a fair ball, it's trouble. It's a fair ball off the wall in play. Hendricks going for 2. Mercer's throw to second base, not in time. Alomar cut it off, would not have been in time, and Hendricks is in with a sliding double. That is the 3rd hit for Baltimore in the first since the 2nd inning. So Elrod Hendricks in scoring position. At second base, the batter, Mark Belanger, who was struck out and lined out to Chambliss. Belanger, right-hand hitter, and the pitch to him is high, ball one. Again, unfortunately, an unthinking fan has thrown A missile on the field. 1 ball, no strike pitch. Bunted down the first base side. Medic is going to have to get over there. The flip, he's safe. Bunt single for Belanger. Medic had to get over to cover. Didn't make it in time. Chambliss fielded the ball, flipped to Medic. But Belanger beat the pitcher to the bag, and the Orioles now have runners at first and second. 1 out, and Bill Burton is on his way out to the mound. It's a bunt single for Belanger. So this is the second scoring threat for the Orioles in the ball game. In the second inning, Powell walked, Blair singled, but Earl Weaver declined the sacrifice, let Brooks Robinson swing away, and he popped up. Then Hendricks walked to load the bases, and Medic was able to strike out Belanger, got Bunbury on a fly ball to left, and got out of trouble there. Now they have runners at first and third with 1 out. Al Bunbury, left-hand hitter, will be coming up. So Bill Burton has his discussion with Medic and Munson. Burton turns around and walks back toward the Yankee dugout. Bunbury is singled, flied to left, and grounded out to second base. Nettles will play in shallow on him. Chambliss will hold Belanger on at first base, and Mason and Alomar come in close. The Yankees did not play in double play depth. With a speedy Bunbury up there, they can't afford to take that chance. Looks like they'll try to make the play through the plate. On a ground ball, that is. There's the set. Here's the pitch. And he hits it in the air down the left field line. Hendricks is back to tag up. Pinella's got it. Here comes Hendricks. Here comes Pinella's throw. And he is safe. Hendricks scores after the catch. And the Orioles lead 1-0. Al Bunbury gets a sacrifice fly. Pinella fired as hard as he could. Munson tried to catch the ball, make the tag at the same time. Munson went up the line at third, and as he swung out trying to tag Elrod Hendricks, he lost the ball. Hendricks scores on a sacrifice fly. Belanger held at first base. Now 2 outs, and Rich Coggins the batter. Baltimore leads 1-0. Nettles stays in shallow on Coggins. Chambliss still holding on Belanger. Mason and Alomar back off. They play Coggins to pull, and he takes high ball 1. Medic looks down to Munson for his side. Belanger leads away at first. The set by Doc. Down below the belt. There goes Belanger. The pitch is low and inside. Munson's throw over Mason's head into center field. And there goes Belanger for third. Maddox throw to third. He's out. Elliot Maddox throws him out at third base. Greg Nettles took the ball behind the bag, dove out, made the tag. And Belanger is out. 8-5. Munson's throw was over Mason's head. Maddox raced in to back up the play. Fielded the ball. Fired true to Nettles. And Nettles made the play. So Belanger is out. Give him a stolen base. We're going to second. He's out. Trying to go to third on the overthrow, and that retires the side. The Orioles, though, get 1 run on 2 hits, and there was nobody left on base. And in the middle of the 7th inning, the score is Baltimore 1 and New York 0.
The inevitability of it all is beginning to sink in on the Cincinnati Reds. 2.5 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, and running out of time to catch them. Some of the Reds already sound like they're ready to concede the National League West title to Los Angeles. And the reason they're so pessimistic is the schedule. Los Angeles is playing 13 of its final 16 games against San Diego and Houston. Those 2 teams, the Dodgers hold a combined 22-2 edge on the season. In other words, they play those 2 teams 24 times, and they've only lost twice. That stretch began Monday night, and the Dodgers had no trouble. They beat the Astros 7-2, while Cincinnati blasted San Diego 9-2. According to Sparky Anderson, he says, I've got a feel that they're going to win all their games. And Anderson, sounding a little like a beaten man, he said there's no way to expect clubs to beat them now that haven't been able to beat them all year. He said they've got 7 games against the Padres. They handle this club like they own them. That was Johnny Bench speaking. The Reds figured their last chance probably was lost on Sunday when the Dodgers won their final meeting of the season between the two to escape from the 6-game September showdown with a split. He said if we were ahead of them, then we wouldn't have to worry, but that's not the case.
Jim Northrup has gone in to play left field for Baltimore. Elliott Maddox, the batter, and Palmer's first pitch in over his head, ball 1. Jim Northrup has gone in to play left field. Fastball is popped up on the right side of the infield. Gritch, the second baseman, is under it, back in the grass, and makes the catch. Final score, Detroit 5, Boston 3. The Tigers have won it. Joe Coleman, the winner, Bill Lee, the loser. Home runs in the ball game by Bill Freehan of Detroit and Bernie Carbo of Boston. Final again, Detroit 5 and Boston 3. Bobby Mercer, it's a line drive at a right field base hit. Bobby jumped on the first pitch and lined it to right. Score to my partners over in television, Bill White and Phil Rizzuto, so they can let their fans know the game is all over in Boston. Bobby Mercer is on with 1 out. And Greg Nettles the batter. Quick throw to first, Mercer is safe. Set by Palmer. The kick and the pitch outside. Ball 1. Nettles is struck out and flied to center. Lou Piniella is on deck. Mercer at first with 1 away. Stretch by Palmer. The big kick. The pitch cut on and missed. Rising fastball from the Oriole right-hander. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oakland and Kansas City are tied 1-1 at the end of 4. Pirates and the Cardinals are tied 1-1. They're in the 10th inning now at Pittsburgh. 1-1 pitch. Foul. Back and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes on Greg Nettles. Bobby Mercer at first base and 1 out. Roar goes up as the final is posted from Fenway Park. The Orioles looking around. Bobby Gritch looking out there at the scoreboard. Of course, they have an interest in that game, too. Here's the pitch. Nettles swings and misses strike 3. Palmer pulled the string on a curveball, had Nettles out in front of it, and there were 2 down. That is the 3rd strikeout for Palmer. Lou Piniella, the batter. Piniella has flied to right and lined out to the second baseman, Gritch. Palmer throws to first. Mercer gets back. Left-hander Mike Wallace throwing out in the Yankee bullpen, along with Dave Pagan, a right-hander. Throw to first, safe. And now Piniella strolls away from the plate, and time is called. Chris Chambliss is on deck. Baltimore leads it 1-0 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Piniella with a .305 batting average. The pitch to him. High and tight, and down he goes. Palmer decks Piniella with a high inside fastball. Normally, you'd see the plate umpire take the whisk broom out, but Jim Odom elects not to. Palmer ready again. Mercer goes. Pitch is cut on and foul back. Piniella had a big rip as Mercer broke for second. The count is 1-1. Palmer gets a new baseball to work with. Mercer back to first to tag up. Powell's holding the corner of the bag on him. Set by Piniella. The pitch. Check swing, and it's a strike called. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looked like a slider from Palmer, and Piniella now behind the count 1-2. Jim Palmer looks in for the side, spins and throws to first. Mercer is back. Powell lob toss back to the pitcher. Now the stretch. There goes Mercer. The pitch is swung on. Ground ball to shortstop. Belanger's up with it. Fires to first base. In time. Piniella slides in, but the throw beats him, and that retires the side. For the Yankees in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man is left on. And at the end of 7 innings of play, the score: Baltimore 1 and New York nothing.
Western Kentucky has a slim edge over Louisiana Tech as the nation's #1 small college football team in the United Press International Board of Coaches' first ratings of the 1974 season. Western Kentucky rolled over C.W. Post in the first quarter and coasted to a 48-0 romp in its opening game. Louisiana Tech, meanwhile, opened its season a week earlier with a 16-7 victory over Illinois State. Louisiana Tech received first-place votes on 10 of the 32 ballots cast, but a bundle of second-place votes, in addition to 9 for first, gave Western Kentucky an edge by about 7 points. Perennial powers, Grambling and Delaware, were 4th and 5th, respectively. Tennessee State, last year's national champion, was 6th after being upset by Middle Tennessee in its first game. Abilene Christian, another upset victim in its opener, was 7th. Troy State, 8th. North Dakota, 9th. And Nevada, Las Vegas, 10th.
Our ball game goes to the top of the 8th inning. Rich Coggins will lead off. He's 0 for 3. He'll be followed by Bobby Grich and Tommy Davis. Right fielder, Rich Coggins. Coggins, left-hand batter. Medich wides and deals. Coggins takes a curve over. Strike called. Coggins has flied to center, popped to second, and grounded out to second base. Breaking ball, hit back up the middle. Base hit. Through into center field. And Coggins is on with a leadoff single. Now the batter is Bobby Grich. He's 0 for 3. Called out on strikes, grounded out to short, and flied out to left field. Yankee bullpen stays active. Like Sparky Lyle up now. Was Mike Wallace. There's the set by Doc Medich. He checks first with a glance over the left shoulder and the pitch. Grich bunts out in front of the plate. Medich has it. Throws to first base in time. Alomar covering. And on the sacrifice, Coggins goes to second. A 1-4 sacrifice, and the Orioles have a runner at second base. One out, runner at second, Tommy Davis the batter. Baltimore leading 1-0 here in the top half of the 8th inning. Medich kicks the dirt away from the pitching rubber. Looks down to Munson for a sign. Big right-hander starts his move, drops the hands, checks second, and here's the pitch. Off the end of the bat, foul, just past the Yankee dugout. Strike 1. Medich again looks for the sign. Coggins leads away at second base. The set again by the right-hander. The kick, here it comes, high and tight. And it hits him. It hits him, and from second base, Coggins went to third. I think they should have to put Coggins, I would think, back at second on a hit batter. Bill Burton now comes out. The Oriole bench telling Coggins to stay right where he is. They'll have to put him back, though, because once the batter is hit by a pitch, the ball is dead. And the base runners cannot advance unless, of course, there's a runner at first, or first and second, or first, second, and third. So hit by the pitch, Tommy Davis is at first base. The batter will be Boog Powell. Bill Bird now talking to plate umpire Jim Odom. They have put Coggins back at second, Davis on first. Boog Powell will be the batter. Now Burton's going to make a trip to the mound. And while Burton goes out to talk to Medich, we'll step out for very briefly and say we pause now for station identification. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
This is the Southern Command Radio Network, an affiliate of the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
SCN 2000.
Bill Burton is making a pitching change. He'll bring Sparky Lyle in to pitch to Boog Powell. Then, of course, we'll see if Earl Weaver makes a change and goes with, say, Earl Williams, perhaps, instead of Powell. Medich walked Powell 3 times in a row. So Doc is through after going 7 1/3 innings. Medich allowed 5 hits, walked 4, struck out 2. And Sparky Lyle comes on in relief. Covering his last 9 appearances. There's a hand for Medich now as he comes off the field. Some of the fans around the Yankee dugout give him a standing ovation as he comes off. Covering his last 9 appearances, Sparky Lyle has not allowed a run in 21 1/3 innings, during which he has allowed only 7 hits and lowered his earned run average to 1.62. Overall this year, Lyle has now made his 60th appearance. He's won 7 and lost 3, and he has 14 saves. An earned run average of 1.62. He has pitched an even 100 innings on the season, allowed 84 hits, walked 39, and struck out 77. And Earl Weaver will go with Bob Oliver as the pinch hitter for Boog Powell. And we'll probably see Oliver stay in the ball game to play first base. So Weaver goes with the right-hand hitter, Bob Oliver. Milwaukee catcher Darrell Porter has hit his 12th home run of the year for the Brewers in the 7th inning with the bases empty. So that will tie the ball game up with Cleveland 2-2. Bob Oliver now bats for Powell. Runners at first and second and 1 out. Oliver overall is hitting .247, 8 home runs and 57 runs batted in. Orioles picked him up from the California Angels. Right-hand batter in a crouch. Here's the pitch to him. He swings and fouls one back. Strike 1. Coggins at second. Tommy Davis on at first. Yankees have the infield back at double play depth. The outfield is spread out deep and left. The pitch hit in the air. Foul down the right side. Chambliss chasing. Can't get to it. The ball is in the seats. No balls and 2 strikes now on Bob Oliver. Paul Blair is on deck. Sparky Lyle walks off the reverse slope of the mound to go for the rosin bag. Hand up to the mouth, wipes it off. Takes his spiked shoes on the pitching rubber. Plants the left foot, and now looks down to Bunsen for a sign. He comes set, and the pitch to Oliver. Fouled off again, numped it back toward the screen. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Sparky's ready to work. Rocks and deals, and Oliver hits a ground ball foul outside of third. Between Coach Billy Hunter and the bag. Count holds 0-2 on Oliver. Orioles leading 1-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Lyle again plants the foot. Oliver steps out. Time and held for him by the plate umpire, Jim Odom. Now he stabs the rubber. And the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Now back on the screen. Rockets up the screen, rolls back to the field. And a new supply of baseballs is carried out. And somebody has thrown fireworks on the field now. No ball, 2 strike count on Oliver. Runners lead away at first and second. Lyle deals, and Oliver takes up high. 1-2. The set by the left-hander. The kick, the pitch, fouled off again. So Oliver keeps spoiling him and makes Lyle work. These clubs meet again here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Your schedule will show that as a day game, but it is not. It has been changed to a night game starting at 8. Pat Dobson pitches for the Yankees and left-hander Mike Cuellar for Baltimore. And season's play between the clubs will wind up Thursday night. Rudy May against Dave McNally. Here's the 1-2 pitch again to Oliver. He swings and he misses, strike 3. Lyle got him with a hard slider. Two down, the batter will be Paul Blair. Blair, right-hand batter, is 1 for 3 in this ball game. He had a single back in the second. In the second inning, the Orioles had the bases loaded with 1 out. Medich struck out Belanger, got Bunbury on a fly ball. Pitch to Blair, swung on, hit deep to left field. This one could carry. It is going. It is gone. A home run for Blair. Paul Blair rockets his 17th home run of the year to the seat just over the auxiliary scoreboard in left. And now Baltimore leads by a score of 4-0 as Coggins and Davis score ahead of him. 3-run homer for Blair. Two of the runs are charged to Medich. His record is complete. 7 1/3, 3 runs earned, 5 hits, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 1 run, of course, charged to Lyle. The homer by Blair. Now the pitch to Brooks Robinson. He fouls it back to the seats on the first base side. Strike 1. So Sparky Lyle's string of scoreless innings comes to an end. 21 2/3 innings. There's a bouncing ball slowly to third. Charged by Nettles. He has. Throws on to first. Robinson is out. And that will retire the side. But the Orioles score 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, a hit batsman, nobody left on base. And in the middle of the 8th, the score is Baltimore 4 and New York nothing.
Taking a look at the baseball scoreboard, we do have a final score in the American League. Detroit over Boston by the score of 5-3. Boston scored twice in the bottom of the first, but Detroit came back to tie it in the top of the second. Boston took the lead in the bottom of the fourth, but then Detroit scored 2 in the sixth and 1 more in the ninth to do it. 5-11-0 for Detroit. 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Boston. Coleman went the distance to pick up his 13th win against 12 losses. Lee got the loss. His record is 16-13. Carbo hit his 12th home run for Boston in the first. Freehan hit his 16th for Detroit with none on in the second inning. Oakland and Kansas City are tied at 1-1 after 4.5 at Kansas City. Hunter against Busby. Cleveland leads Milwaukee 2-1 after 6.5 at Milwaukee. Jim Perry against Colburn. Gamble hit his 19th for Cleveland with none on in the fifth. Minnesota scored 6 times in the top of the first and leads Chicago 6-0. That game is now in the bottom of the second.
Well, Bob Oliver, who batted for Boog Powell, does not stay in the ball game to play first base. Instead, Earl Weaver employs Enos Cabell at first. Enos Cabell now playing first. Chris Chambliss will lead off the eighth for the Yankees. Chambliss had a base hit his first time up, extending his hit streak through 13 games. The longest Yankee hit streak this year is 15 by Maddox. First pitch to him. Fastball is over, strike call. Brewers scored 2 runs in the seventh inning and have now taken a 3-2 lead over Cleveland at the end of 7. Next pitch, swung on, hit in the air to center field. Paul Blair comes in under it, makes the catch, and there's one down. The batter will be Thurman Munson. Bell gets on Munson a bit for his errant throw to second base earlier in the game. It did no damage. In fact, it led to a putout. First pitch to him. Swung on, hit deep to left field. This one way back in the corner, running Northrup. He's got it. Jim Northrup ran it down in the left field corner to retire Munson. 2 down. It brings up Jim Mason. On the Munson throw early in the game, Belanger stole second. Got up when Munson threw to center field, headed for third, and Maddox threw him out. Mason takes a low curve, ball 1. Mason is 2 for 2. Led off the third and the sixth innings with base hits. Pops it up near the first base bag. Cabell is under it in foul territory and makes the catch to retire the side. So the Yankees are out easily in order here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Nothing across, and at the end of 8, the score is Baltimore 4 and New York nothing.
Continuing with the baseball scoreboard in the American League, California and Texas postponed because of rain. In the National League, Pittsburgh and St. Louis are now in extra innings. That game is now in the bottom of the 10th. It's a 1-1 tie. Gibson and Rabowski for St. Louis. Royce continues to throw for Pittsburgh. Oliver hit his 9th home run for Pittsburgh with none on in the first inning. Chicago leads Philadelphia 4-1 after 7. That game being played at Philadelphia. Twitchell for Chicago. Dettori, Garver, Schuler, and Christensen for Philadelphia. New York at Montreal postponed because of rain. Getting underway shortly, Atlanta at San Francisco. It'll be Buzz Capra for Atlanta. His record is 14-8. Ron Bryant 3-15. Scheduled to go for San Francisco. Cincinnati is at San Diego. Jack Billingham trying for his 20th win of the season. He's got 9 losses. Bill Griff will pitch for San Diego. His record 8-17. And Houston is playing at Los Angeles. Tom Griffin 12-9 for Houston. And either Doug Rau or Al Downing scheduled to go for the Dodgers.
Well, the Baltimore Orioles have a 4-0 lead as we go to the 9th inning. Lyle will work to the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Mark Belanger, and then the left fielder, Jim Northrup. Hendricks got the Orioles' first run in the 7th inning when he doubled off the wall in right field. The wind-up by Lyle, the pitch to him, high, ball 1. After Hendricks doubled, Belanger bunted and beat it out for a base hit, moving Hendricks to third, and Hendricks scored on Bumbury's sacrifice fly. Next pitch, cut on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hendricks, left-hand pull hitter, and so played by the Yankees. Lyle ramrods straight as he takes the sign from Thurman Munson. The kick, the 1-1 pitch. Cut on and bounced to first base. Fair ball. Chambliss has it. Steps on the bag. Hendricks is out. And there's one away. It'll bring up Mark Belanger. And Jim Northrup comes out on deck. Belanger, right-hand hitter, 1 for 3, had a bunt single, takes the strike call. Belanger struck out his first time up, then lined out to Chambliss, then bunted for the hit. He swings and he misses, strike 2. Lyle deals again, and he's in the dirt with it. It bounces through to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch coming. Hit in the air on the right side of the infield. Alomar backs off into the grass. He's under it. Second baseman takes it. And there are 2 down. 2 outs, the base is empty, and Jim Northrup the batter. The Orioles purchased Northrup from the Montreal Expos on the 15th of September. He started the season with Detroit. They traded him to Montreal back in August. First pitch to him. Foul back to our left, just underneath the press box. At Detroit, Northrup hit .237. At Montreal, .241. Overall, he's had 13 home runs this year and 50 RBIs. Pitch is inside to him. This is his first appearance in an Oriole uniform. He replaced Bumbry in left field. He takes a fastball over the inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-hand hitting Jim Northrup. The gray fox, they call him. Prematurely gray hair. Lyle deals. He hits a ground ball. Even though it's short, Mason is up with it. Long throw, and he's safe. That'll be a base hit. Mason's throw was high. Chambliss had to leave the bag to take the throw. And Northrup is on with a base hit. Runner at first, 2 away. Rich Coggins steps in. Coggins, left-hand hitter, 1 for 4. Opened the 8th inning with a single. Davis was hit by a pitch, and with 2 men on, Paul Blair homered for 3 runs. First pitch is over, strike 1 called. Coggins, a left-hand batter. Lyle ready to work, checks the runner and deals, swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Lyle with that hard slider moved it down and away from the left-hand hitter. Sparky rocks and fires, pitch is fouled back on a half swing. No ball, 2 strike count. And Lyle deals again, fouls it off his leg. Count holds 0-2 on Coggins. Bobby Grich is on deck. Baltimore leading 4-0 here in the top of the 9th inning. Northrup at first, 2 out. Lyle ready and offers. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Northrup walks off a lead against Chambliss. And the pitch to Coggins. Strike 3 called. Coggins goes after the plate umpire, Jim Odom, with a few choice words. Now throws the bat away. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, the man left. And now in the middle of the 9th inning, the score, Baltimore 4 and New York nothing. In the bottom half of the ninth, the Yankees will have Sandy Alomar, Roy White, and Elliot Maddox coming on against Jim Palmer. And Earl Weaver will have his bullpen ready, just in case Palmer should falter. Don't forget these teams play out here again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. The Yankees will go with right-hander Pat Dobson, and the Baltimore Orioles with left-hander Mike Cuellar. Thursday night, this series winds up. Two left-handers pitching, Rudy May for the Yankees and Dave McNally for Baltimore. Now, don't forget, tomorrow's game will be a night game. It was originally scheduled as an afternoon game, but has been changed to an 8 o'clock p.m. game, as has been the game with the Boston Red Sox a week from tomorrow. That will also be an 8 o'clock night game instead of a day game, as is shown on your schedule. Sandy Alomar will lead off. Bottom half of the ninth for the Yankees. Alomar reached on a force out in the third. Mason led off with a base hit. Alomar tried to sacrifice him, butted off the front edge of the plate. Palmer grabbed it and turned it into a forced play at second. Then Alomar popped up a bunt again in the sixth inning. First pitch to him, fastball in, strike called. On the controversial play where he popped up, Powell let the ball drop. Threw to Gritch, who tagged out Mason. Also got Alomar. Fly ball is hit into left field. Coming in for it, the left fielder, Northrup. He takes it, and there's one away. State attendance tonight, 33,784. One away, and Roy White, the batter. He's 0 for 3. Popped up twice to the third baseman, Robinson, and struck out. Switch hitter batting left, fouls the first pitch back on the screen. No balls and a strike to Roy White. Baltimore leading 4-0. Roy White is batting .278 as he steps in. Palmer deals. Change is high, and the count evens 1-1. Palmer winds, kicks, and offers high again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Palmer in quest of his second shutout of the year. He's pitched only 4 complete games all season in 22 starts. Fastball is over but high, ball 3. 3-1 now to Roy White. Palmer missed nearly 2 months on the disabled list with an arm problem. Here's his 3-1 pitch. Strike call. White spun away, started down toward first base. Full count, 3-2. One out, nobody on, payoff pitch, line drive, base hit over Gritch's head into right center field. Ball is run down by the right fielder Coggins, who gets it back to the infield. And White keeps the Yankee hopes alive with a line single. Base hit number 6 for New York, and it brings up Elliot Maddox. Maddox is 1 for 3. Singled his first time up. Since then, he's grounded out to third and popped up to the second baseman. They're in the bottom half of the 11th inning in Pittsburgh. Cardinals and the Pirates tied 1-1. Cubs lead the Phillies 4-1 in the bottom half of the 8th. Here we go. Pitch to Maddox. Popped up behind the plate. Hendricks may have a play. Back he comes toward the screen. And no, the ball carries just into the seats. Game down in the first row of box seats. No balls and a strike on Maddox. Bobby Mercer is on deck. Cabell is not bothering to hold White on at first base. Gritch and Belanger at double play depth, and Brooks Robinson in shallow at third base. No balls and 1 strike to count. And the pitch to Maddox. Hit in the air to center field. Blair backing off, has plenty of room, gets under it, and makes the catch. There are 2 down. White halfway to second, comes back into first base. And now it's up to Bobby Mercer to keep the Yankee hopes alive. Mercer is 1 for 3. Grounded into a double play in the first. Grounded out to the first baseman, Ben Powell, in the fourth. And single to right field in the seventh. Again, Cabell will play behind Roy White and guard the line. Robinson wide of the line and in shallow at third. Maybe a step back off the grass. The outfield swung well around toward right. Coggins in the corner. Blair over in right center. Northrup in left center. Mercer takes the pitch over, but high, ball one. A lot of the folks now head for the exit. 33,784 paid tonight here at Shea. 1-0 pitch. Bobby takes a curve, strike called, 1-1. Palmer has pitched a strong ball game. He has not walked anybody. He struck out 3. There's one deep to right field. This may be Mercer's first home run at Shea, and it is off the wall. The ball is in play. White goes around to third. Mercer felt sure that was a home run and stops at first base. Just underneath the home run line in right field. Ball at the wall, bounced back to Coggins. Roy White running hard, made it around to third. Mercer, I'm sure, thinking it was a home run, was not digging hard, and is forced to hold up at first base with a long single under the 341-foot mark in right field. Earl Weaver has gone out to the mound to talk to Palmer. The Yankees have runners at first and third. Bobby Mercer came within maybe a foot or so of getting his first Shea Stadium home run. So Mercer's at first, White at third, 2 out. Greg Nettles the batter. He struck out twice and flied to center. First pitch to him, low and away, ball 1. Lou Piniella is on deck. Bobby came mighty close to getting his first home run in this ballpark. Nettles swings, it's a fly ball to deep center. Blair going back, has a bead on it. He's under it. The ball game is over as Blair makes the catch. And Jim Palmer has shut out the Yankees in a big ball game, 4-0. Here in the 9th inning for the Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. And here are your totals on the ball game for the Baltimore Orioles: 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Orioles left 7 men on base. For the New York Yankees, no runs, 7 hits, no errors, and the Yankees left 4 men on. A strong pitching job by Jim Palmer, who went all the way to pick up his 7th win. He has lost 12, and that was his 2nd shutout of the year. The losing pitcher, Doc Medich, whose record is now 18 wins and 14 losses. The Orioles scored a run in the 7th, a double by Hendricks, a bunt single by Belanger, and a sacrifice fly by Bunbury. They put it out of reach completely in the 8th, a leadoff single by Coggins, sacrifice by Gritch. Tommy Davis was hit by a pitch. With runners at first and second, Bob Oliver batted for Boog Powell and struck out, but Paul Blair hit Sparky Lyle's first pitch into the crowd in left field for his 17th home run of the year. 3 runs crossed the plate, and that's the final score. Baltimore 4, New York nothing.
All right, let's take a look now at the baseball scoreboard. We can bring it right up to date for you. First in the American League, one other final in addition to the Baltimore-New York game. Detroit over Boston by the score of 5-3. 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Detroit. 3-5-1 for Boston. Coleman went the distance for his 13th win against 12 losses. Lee got the losses, record 16-13. Carbo and Freehan home runs. And in the game you just heard, Baltimore over New York by the score of 4-0. Oakland and Kansas City are now through 6.5 innings of play, and it's a 1-1 ball game. Hunter is pitching against Busby. Cleveland and Milwaukee are now in the top of the 9th at Milwaukee, and the Brewers lead it 3-2. Jim Perry against Colburn. Gamble and Porter have hit home runs. Minnesota is leading Chicago by the score of 6-0. That game is now in the 6th inning, with Albury going against Bonsom and now Otten for Chicago. California, Texas postponed because of rain. In the National League, St. Louis and Pittsburgh are now in the bottom of the 11th at Pittsburgh. It's a 1-1 ball game. Gibson and Hrabowski for St. Louis, Royce for Pittsburgh. Oliver hit his 9th home run for the Pirates in the first with none on. After 7 at Philadelphia, it's the Cubs 4, the Phillies 1. Twitchell and Frayling for Chicago, DeTore, Garber, Schuler, Christensen, and now Scarce for Philadelphia. The Mets at Montreal postponed because of rain and wet grounds. Getting underway just in a few moments or so, Atlanta at San Francisco, Capra against Bryant, Cincinnati at San Diego, Bellingham against Griff, and Houston at Los Angeles, Griffin against Rao. So they'll get a good chance at a little scoreboard watching there on the West Coast as both the Dodgers and the Reds are playing at the same time, Cincinnati at San Diego, and Los Angeles is at home against Houston. So with Baltimore's victory now over New York, Baltimore is now 79-70 in the American League East. New York drops to 80-68, and that means now that Baltimore is just a game and a half away from New York in the American League East. Boston failed to pick up because of its loss to Detroit. Boston remains 3.5 games out of first place in the American League's Eastern Division. In the National League, as far as that situation is concerned, not a whole lot to report. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh there by a game and a half, and that ball game between St. Louis and Pittsburgh is in the bottom of the 11th inning. It's a 1-1 tie. St. Louis leading the Pirates by a game and a half. And, of course, Los Angeles and Cincinnati just getting underway against different opponents on the West Coast. The Dodgers leading at the moment by 2.5.